Hello, I'm John Begnaud here to talk to you today about landscape water conservation. You know, one of the hardest things to determine is when to water. Let's say you just had a rain and you have a reprieve for a while, but you don't know when to begin irrigating again because things dry out, and that's really important to water conserving. If you can extend that time frame, your interval between irrigation, you're going to save lots of water. Let's consider turf grass first of all. It's all about the soil. And here's a great example of a well-established Bermuda grass yard. And we all know as part of water conservation, we should choose limited landscape turf, or practical landscape turf would be a better explanation of that. This is a very well-rooted one. Look how deep those roots are. They're 6 inches deep. Now the soil, it's been quite a while since it rained here. The soil at the surface is beginning to dry out. But down deep, the moisture is very adequate, more than adequate, to keep this alive and even do well. So the trick here is to allow your soils to get to this point. This is beyond what we refer to as field capacity. It's starting to dry out, but it encourages the movement of roots deeper. You're going to have tougher turf grass and tougher plants if you do that. So the goal is to try to figure out when this soil down deep is so dry that plants need a drink. And sometimes that may be wilting of the top portion of the plants. Many times plants don't need any water at all. If you're very careful in selecting the type of plants that are very drought hardy, you may be able to go in the summer as much as 2 or 3 weeks without irrigating turf grass, in the winter months without irrigating turf grass. So it's all about the soil. Dig down there, get a little handful of it. When it starts to crumble like that, it is losing its soil moisture. All right, if you take it and you can ball it together like that, you have adequate soil moisture to keep roots alive. This is still plenty good for this soil. We don't need to irrigate it right now. So remember, if you'll do that, and I know you'll learn after a while that you don't have to always go digging holes in your yard to figure it out. You'll realize to look at your plants. They'll tell you an awful lot, and just be practical. The worst thing for water conserving landscapes is a time clock on turf grass, because you set it on a calendar, not when the plants need it. So remember that. Always water when plants need it and soils need it. This is John Begnaud, and on behalf of the Public Information Office and San Angelo Water Conservation Department, these are your water conserving tips.